Hey, Mila Valcha. Welcome to Irish Granny Helen. This is Saturday, and I'm very sorry that I only had one video of our book. I wasn't able to time it so that we would have a couple of videos. I tried cutting the others a little short to allow more time this weekend. And it was too much to add a third video last weekend. So, sometimes it doesn't happen, but rarely when it does happen, it's annoying, and I understand. So I thought I would do a video of subscriber requests, trying to fit them in, trying to remember to do them. And I often don't do them right away because I don't know who you're talking about. This time I sort of do. So we won't do hugely in depth, but we'll look at a few topics that people ask me about. This one I really resist talking about because I have very strong personal opinions, and that can color what I see in the cards, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible, and it's going to be a challenge. However, if the cards speak to me, I'm going to say it. So we'll see what we see. It should be very, very interesting. So the first question was about the English royal family, the quote unquote Windsors, which is actually the name of a place. Their real name is Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. They're German. They're not even English. We could talk all day. And I have in the past. I've covered this a lot in the past, and I'm not going to talk anymore about that part of it. Somebody wanted me to look into something very, very specific, and I don't do predictions about the outcome of people's lives, if you know what I'm getting at. I actually don't think we're supposed to know that. I think we're here for a purpose, to learn lessons, and we don't learn the lesson if we cheat and have the answer sheet. I think there's a lot of guidance to be had from the cards, but I feel very uncomfortable predicting that kind of question. However, I'm more than happy to see what the cards have to say about this particular family, and especially in light of the three-ring circus that happened this last weekend at Windsor Castle. And let's maybe look at them in the context of the future of their position and the actual health of their position in the eyes of the English people right now. I do know that there is a subculture of devout royalists in England, well, and in Scotland and Wales, Northern Ireland, but don't think it's as avid as it used to be. I don't think their position is as strong as it used to be, and I'm telling you this from a gut feeling, but also from a place of personal opinion, so we know what we're going into when we look at these cards. Okay. This is going to be hard because I'm hoping that you will believe that I'm reading the meaning of the cards and not just my personal opinion, but it's interesting. At the heart of this, we get the Ten of Wands. Things are becoming more and more difficult for them. Their position is not the same as it would have been, 100 years ago when they were the, on the top of the pile. Let's put it that way. The Queen of Pentacles is crossing the Ten of Wands. They're looking for relevancy. They're trying very hard to find a way to stay in their position of comfort. If you notice the pentacle in her hand, they're looking for a new project, a new position in the eyes of the world that can still maintain their lifestyle. They personally own an incredible amount of property around the world. The British Empire doesn't exist in the same way that it did. Their personal holdings, they didn't relinquish most of those. It's mind-boggling. They own all the swans in England, okay? I'm just saying. This is going to be harder to maintain, I think, in the eyes of the public as life becomes more difficult, as the economy becomes less kind to people. Resentment is going to grow. The atmosphere is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Enough of this living off the fat of other people's brows, what the terrible mixed metaphor, the sweat of other people's brows, the fat of the land. You're not that important. Your blood is not special. Your DNA is not special. We're coming to a place of rejection of that notion. Historically, they're significant, but only because of the events of history, not because their genetics are better. And there's going to be a public recognition of that. And I think this card, the Hermit at the foundation, is talking about public, and we're talking the British public, coming to the realization, hey, our value is no different than their supposed value. We're as great as they are, or in their eyes, they are really no better than we are. We are all one. And there's going to be a reckoning. The Star. Star has diminished. Their importance, power on the world stage has decreased. Now, don't fool yourself. People say, oh, they're just figureheads. No, they're not. When Parliament, now my terms might be wrong and I apologize, but when the British lawmakers come up, decide on a law or whatever they call it, it doesn't become law till the head of the royal family signs off on it. It used to be brought to Queen Elizabeth, now it's brought to King Charles, which I have such a hard time saying. Anyway, they bring these things to him and he has to okay them and he can amend them. He gets final say and final right of approval. So they're not just figureheads. They're extremely wealthy. They still continue to get revenue from holdings all over the world, but especially in England. They have multiple homes and multiple servants and 2 golden horse-drawn carriages. How many of us could say that? I think there's going to be a movement coming soon amongst the English people. They've had enough. Time to change this situation. This is the population. This is a reflection of the royal family. I hate that word, royal. Rubs me the wrong way. They don't care about people. They claim to care about people, but like many extremely wealthy philanthropists, it's for show. Sam Bankman said it. It's PR. The philanthropy they engage in, it's PR. And their lack of compassion, their lack of true humanitarian care is going to fall under the scrutiny of more clear-eyed people. They are worried that they are going to be sent on their way, the Eight of Cups. People have had enough. I just think it's going to take things to get worse in the economy, like the national health and you know, but it will reach a tipping point, and it's not going to be all that long. But they're going to try mightily to continue with what they've got. And they have a real, this is their attitude. Their attitude, the Four of Cups, is one of, you know, whatever, as long as we get ours. They don't care. Now, the question that somebody gave me was about a specific member and Lifeline, and I don't want to do that. But I will say this, as a whole, as a family, they are rapidly losing their relevance and their power unless the British people do something about this one family's financial holdings. They will always hang on to some influence, but it's going to diminish and diminish and diminish. I'd like to recommend a series of books by a woman named Sue Townsend. They were written in the late 80s, early 90s. The Adrian Mole Diaries, very, very funny. And there's a series of them along that same line. But there's one, oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. It's obviously written quite a while ago when Charles was married to Diana. And the premise of the story, it's a novel. It's a comedy novel. The premise of the story is that there is an upheaval of sorts, a class rebellion in England, and they lose all of their position and power, and they have to go live in government subsidized housing. And it's hilarious. Sue Townsend. Okay, next question. Somebody wants me to read about Rihanna. This is always quite a challenge. I know Rihanna's a singer. That is all I know. So I'm just going to do a cold reading. Let's just see what we get. I apologize if I'm completely off the mark, but let's see what the cards can tell us. Rihanna. Okay, what I'm getting from these cards, just right away, the combination of the cards, there's a big change in her life. Now, I'm not sure. Let's dig into this. I'm not sure yet. Is this about personal things, or is it professional, or is it as simple as moving to a new genre or style or something significant? And at the heart of this, I get the King of Pentacles reversed. This is a rejection of authoritarian, despotic behavior. Definitely getting male energy, and definitely feel like it's a rejection of mistreatment. Crossed by the Two of Pentacles. I think whatever this was, or whatever it will be, because this is significant in her life right now, and the energy of her life, this was a real decision, a real hard decision, or it is a challenging decision. In the atmosphere, the Three of Pentacles reversed. There's a sense in her life of a lack of cooperation, a lack of people working with her, for her, as they had in the past. Now, What does this mean? I don't know. Does she have like, okay, I'm going to say like a business manager or a record producer or a PR person or even a personal assistant, as well as personal relationships? They're just not fulfilling what they fulfilled before. Maybe this is the decision. Maybe she's in the process of changing from one group of, I'm going to use this word, I hate it, but it's all I can think of at the moment, staff, helpers, people that she surrounds herself with that do stuff for her. I think either she realizes that they don't necessarily gel with her and what she sees as her vision and direction, or she doesn't realize that and something doesn't feel right to her and they're doing it kind of underhandedly. In either case, there's a sense of, well, at the foundation, we get the Lovers. So we get a lack of group cooperation, but a foundation of the Lovers. So my question is going to be, I feel like there's conflict in her life between different aspects of her life, like her personal life versus her professional life. There's a disagreement or a conflict, something like that. And I don't know what that is. And this may have been a moment that just happened and decisions have already been made. We're going to see. We're going to move forward a little bit. But in the recent past, the Wheel of Fortune, cycles of life, karma, for her, good luck. Things have gone well for her. So I guess if I know her name, she must be doing really well. So she's been fortunate up till now, and now, or in the very, very recent past, like last week, not terribly long, there's been change, or there is in the right now the process of change, and a little bit of conflict there. Conflict as she tries to make a decision. High Priestess reversed in the near future. I don't think she will be as clear-eyed as she needs to be. Something clouds her judgment. Something interferes with her ability to really understand true wisdom and her real inner guide, her moral compass. I'm not saying she's going to do anything awful, and I don't mean that. I mean, she's struggling for clarity. This is interesting. This is like her, the Knight of Swords. And it's in the environment of strength. I think what this is saying is there's confusion here about decision. And the decision involves the circle of people around her. It can focus on an individual, but it brings everybody into the mix. But she tends to be, if these cards are telling the truth and I'm interpreting them right, she does tend to be a very direct and decisive person. And when she figures out what it is she's confused about right now, I think that's what this is saying, she's going to get her anchor. She's going to get her foundation. She has enormous personal strength. There's a change coming. I always tell people death gives everybody the creeps, right? Don't freak out. The death card is a symbol of a paradigm shift, a change. So she is struggling with some sort of decision. And what did I say? This is the outcome. She is a decisive person. She's very intelligent. And she has a strong sense of self. And she's going to be rejecting some sort of offer, new idea, new projects, but something new in her life that is emotional, that doesn't serve her. She's going to get her clarity about it. Now, does that mean a breakup with a man? Not necessarily. Does it mean the firing of a long-term business associate? It could. Does it mean a divergent opinion about where her music is going to go? I think that's likely. Let's just do a couple of clarifiers just for fun. I think she's in a period of, or has recently, very recently, been in an opinion of indecision and a lack of focus and clarity, but she's going to get her feet under her. She's smart, she's decisive, and she's very strong. And this will be a positive change. She'll get her clarity. Let's just do a couple of clarifiers on this outcome just for fun. Yeah, I think it's going to work out really well for her. I get the Eight of Cups, which is about making a decision about one thing that you care about very much, an emotional decision, and being able to filter that out and go with that. The Six of Pentacles. This makes me think, is this some sort of business thing? Because it's almost a sense of quid pro quo. I'm going to make my decision, and then here's the deal. Here's what I expect from you. But ultimately, the Nine of Cups, she's going to feel very confident about this decision, and it's going to be emotionally rewarding. So this can be a personally emotional thing, but it can be a creative thing too. Other than that, I don't know anything about her. And there's also a question about Chris Brown, but I just don't have time to give that question my full attention. And their names were presented to me together, so I'm assuming, you're all going to think I'm frightfully ignorant, and you would be right. So I have to go. I have a thing, but I will come back and do more about these sorts of things later. Thank you very much for watching, and in the meantime, slán go fóill, sláinte.